What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we're back in the Polaris again, and today we're going to try to get it to run on its own. I got some oil, doing an oil change, some coolant, some new fuel line. Over here, I got a new spark plug. It's the NGK DCPR8E. I got two just in case. Picked up a Wix oil filter. And yeah, so I don't know what I did with the old plug, but it's definitely fouled. So either A, they've been trying to start it, or it's just been running pig rich. So my plan for today is get a lot of this wiring kind of sorted and more tucked up out of the way as it should be. Put some fresh coolant in it because I think it's just got water in it currently. And while I have it out, I'll just do a quick compression check and we'll see how that goes. But well, I do see it does have an oil leak right here by the oil filter, so hopefully with the new gasket we'll be able to get that figured out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the compression tool set up and we'll see what we got going on. Alright, so I got the gauge hooked up. It's reading 0. Let's go ahead and turn the key on. Find the throttle cable. Somewhere over here. Hold that wide open. And let's see. That doesn't look very promising. It's about 90 psi. Then again, this is a cheap compression tester kit, so then I don't even know what they're supposed to have for compression, so maybe I'll look that up. But it does run, so we'll just roll with it for now. Could be that it needs cam valve lash adjusters done. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this all pulled apart, or not pulled apart, but get the compression stuff put away, and we'll get into changing the oil. All right, so from what I've seen, this is where the oil filter's at. See what we got behind door number 1. Ooh, that does not look good. That looks like there might be water in the system. We'll see. So I don't know. That's a filter looks relatively new. But that oil does not look the greatest. If we look over here, I don't know, that just does not look too promising. Alright, so I'll hit it with some brake clean. Let's see if we can figure out So this, like I said, just does not look good whatsoever. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned out, get everything else cleaned out, and we'll get the new filter thrown in. All right, so I got the new filter on. I did find the problem with my leak. This O-ring was cracked a little bit, or like looks like they pried on it. So temporarily, I'm going to use some RTV gray. I will go to the Polaris dealer and get the actual gasket. But for the time being, I'm just going to do it this way. So put the spring back in. Put the filter housing back on. All right, let's move on to draining the actual oil. So on these Polaris Predators, you have like an oil tank up here, then you have another drain plug back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the actual like oil tank first. See what we get out of this. Oh, that's reassuring. A whole lot of nothing so far. Oh, there it comes. Ooh. That is not good at all. That is not looking promising. That definitely looks like water in the oil, maybe even sand. Let's see, what is this? Not sure. That could be just neglect from not changing the oil. All right, so I'm gonna pull the other drain plug and further investigate what we got going on here. So that's what I've pulled out of just the oil tank up front so far. So we'll get this loose and see what comes out of here. Oh, more fine oil. So it's not looking super I haven't seen any like coolant or anything. It may be just between a bunch of fuel and it's sitting for a long time, be my guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna let this drain out and then we'll pull the tank. So after draining the tank, I got the tank pulled out, and I don't know, Might be a little bit of water. Could be from sitting too. It was just sitting outside and it does rain in Oregon. But it also looks like there's quite a bit of fuel in it too. But it doesn't look super, super milky. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this into the other oil pan here. And we'll get this cleaned out. Because it's got sand all over the back side of it. Yeah, so, alright, get this drained in there and we'll get cleaning this. Alright, so, got everything clean, taken apart. All the hoses cleaned up, made sure the seals are good, inside's cleaned out. Got the oil tank cleaned out. Got up under here cleaned out. So here comes the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and throw the tank, the lines back in, and yeah, we'll see what happens from there. All right, so we got oil tank back in. It's all cleaned up. Lines are rehooked up. Hose clamps on everything. This was missing a hose clamp. This was super loose. So yeah, so I think I might have figured out why. Might have been a hint of water, possibly. So here's the crankcase vent hose. Well, this was pushed all the way down here, kind of down by the swing arm down there. When I was power washing, I probably got water into it because this goes into the air box. So that's pretty sure where that came from. So that makes me feel a little bit better, but then again, who knows? So I'll probably have to do a couple oil changes to get the fluid out. So we're gonna go ahead and throw in 2 quarts of Lucas ATV UTV 1040 oil for right now. It's the only thing I could really find in town that was kind of rated for this. Because my only AMSOIL dealer, they closed down. So see if we can do this without spilling any. All right, so I'm gonna set this down, finish filling up the rest, and we'll start on draining the cooling system and see what we got in there. Sorry if there's some sun glare, but we're moving the coolant side, so already took the fan off because I had to do that to pull the tank out of the way. So I will pull the radiator out, clean it, but let's go ahead and drain it. But one of the things I can't stand is hose clamps. They're just absolutely way too long for what you're doing. It just drives me crazy. Anybody else have that problem? Or am I just the weird one here? Alright, so let's see. I think it's just straight water in here, but we'll soon find out. And these Nerf bars aren't in the greatest position. Guess I could take them off. Alrighty. And from what I can see, it is just straight old-fashioned water. So that's not the greatest thing, I guess. Get this one over here pulled off. See if we lose any more fluids. This was the lowest point, so should be fine on that. I don't the hoses look in pretty good shape. And the end here, not bad, not bad. All right, let's go to the other side and see what we got going on over there. We'll go ahead and set this up, a little bit better view. At least I'll try. Not going to guarantee anything beautiful footage, but yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the radiator pulled out and we'll give it a wash. All right, so got the radiator off, blew it out. It was actually really clean, but one of the mounts had broke off. That goes right there. So I will keep this, and in the future, I'll probably order a new radiator similar to like what I did with the Tri-Z. But other than that, yeah, it's really clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and save you guys the boring part of watching me air hose, watching me put on the fan and all that. So I'm gonna get the hoses, the fan, and then we'll get some coolant in it. All right, so the way they had that wiring harness, it was kind of routed under here, yada yada yada. I don't like that, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be more up out of here. I wouldn't think it'd be hanging down low, but it looks like somebody's already been through the harness and put some new loom on it. And truthfully, I don't like it. I mean, I'm gonna put some new wire loom on it myself, but they used big zip ties and didn't cut them flush. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix this, make it look better. And yeah, so let's get into it. All right, so I got it rewrapped in some nice newer loom. Got everything where it needs to be, so forth and so forth. I'm gonna clean these and actually probably replace this here shortly. But so my plan is to run it up through here and back up through, probably back down through here, and it all intertwine in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it installed, and I'll show you guys the finished product. All right, so I got all the wiring looped up. I still need to zip tie everything down. I'm waiting on a new coil wire, so before I do any of that, this is just temporarily. This is up here. Now this is all up and, you know, much more out of the way. It's not being pulled on. But, so I was looking at the carburetor. Don't get sick, it sucks. See if I can find a flashlight that works. All right. Use my handy Ryobi light here, but I noticed the other day when I was starting it, it would kind of backfire, and you get some smoke out of the car, but then I got some smoke from somewhere else. I was looking. I don't know if how well you're gonna be able to see. Let me it's kind of hard to tell, but The intake manifold is cracked at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the carb off and investigate to see if I need to order an intake manifold. So I got the intake off. It is, I mean, rock hard. I don't see any cracks coming through the rubber, but I'm just going to order one anyways. It isn't supposed to be like this, all rock hard. So I think this is where we're going to end off this episode of the Basketcase Polaris. Didn't get as much done as I wanted. I wanted to get it running today, but when you get into things like this, things happen. So ask you guys to like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.